Hi, and welcome to this Weekday Word. Our Old Testament lesson from Proverbs in the daily office comes from the 3rd chapter, and beginning in the 5th verse, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight." It's a very simple verse that reminds us that our trust of God and our obedience are deeply linked to one another. To trust in God is to remember that he is trustworthy, that we can lean on him, and that we do not live our lives obeying ourselves and trusting in our own insights and wisdom, but instead we trust God's wisdom, God's insight, and so we obey what he calls us to do, even when it doesn't fully make sense. We are to trust in the Lord and lean not on our own understanding, and acknowledge him in all our ways that our paths may be straight. But I have to be honest, when I hear these verses, I don't jump immediately to what they mean. I jump instead immediately to a memory of them. Right as I was coming out of college, I bought some music that was scripture set to music. And this verse, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths." That got stuck in my head. And it was so stuck in my head that it kept me up for about 3 or 4 hours through the night. I just could not get it out of my head. And it's always been a powerful reminder to me of how powerful music is. Music has a way of driving truths down into our hearts and fixing them in our memories. And this is a great verse with which to do that. In fact, it reminds me of another song, "Trust and obey, there's no other way." And so as I read these verses, I am reminded that I need to trust God and lean not on my own understanding, but acknowledge and obey him. But it also reminds me of how wonderful music can be for driving those simple truths down into my bones so that I don't just know them in my head, but actually can live them out in my life. I pray today, friends, that you can trust and obey so that you may experience the blessing of God and his peace and his joy in your life. Be blessed this day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.